why would we not seek to annex it to the city?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, and I think that we would have to concur that if the city bought that property, that would be your desire. Then I guess I would say is what would it be worth in compensation? There's a tax value there today. If somebody in the city of Rushford wished to annex out, would your opinion be to grant their wish? No strings, no questions.
Do you know what the taxes are on that land right now?
Well, we do according to the worksheet that was assembled by, I forget the name of the guy inside here. Jeff or Joel West. Evidently somebody's taken some time and done a lot of work. Iggy Colby has assembled, and this was provided to us at our last council.
What is the tax burden on that land? You've got it.
I don't know if it's got the number of acres and it's got.
There's a number of acres.
Okay, maybe it doesn't have the tax.
No, it's nothing listed in the developed area.
But it's easy to determine what that is based on the county. You know, the same thing, you know, could have been that if we would have purchased it as a city of Rushford Village, the obstacle that was in front of us last time was, well, it was going to be $186,000 to have access to it, or $6,000 per dwelling. They call it reasonable and customary charges. I don't know if that still applies today or not. I'd never heard of it before. But anyway, the wishes would be that if it were something to be done, the preference would be to collectively do it together. That's the wishes.
Anything else?
Mr. Mayor, yes. Would that include, or would you prefer not to buy land? Because I think the council's consideration right now that they've been asked by Mr. Sexauer is, are they interested in purchasing? Right. So, let's say, going back to the old model that you brought up about how we had sort of divided it up. There was rural, there was city lots that would be developed. I believe the lots that the city had were the ones on the east or the west, and the village were the larger ones on the west. So roughly it's a 50-50 split, I think, in terms of the land, as I recall. Would you be willing to buy the 50 acres to the east while we bought the 50 acres to the west, or?
Well, the question gets to be is access. Last time we didn't have access. We have no more access today than we did then.
Sure.
I can't answer that question, I guess, because I don't know what access would be available. One of the other issues was that there needed to be 2 points of access. You had to have an entrance and an exit. There may be an entrance on one side, but I don't see that there would be anything that's changed on the other end yet that would grant. So I guess I don't know. Would we be open to discussion? Absolutely. It would be premature to, I think, you know, say yes or no. You know, I don't know without more study.
I mean, you'd be open to it.
You know, we had the opportunity to acquire the same property. We were given first rights to purchase it here some months ago, and we toyed with it for a long time. And as Dale alluded to, being developers costs money. You know, business people do business developments, not necessarily cities. Not to say cities don't, but a city of our size, it just appeared as if though that maybe that was an adventure that might not be in our best interest to expend that kind of resources.
I think when look at planning and a possible scenario like that would be very interesting to pursue. I think it could be a very positive for the whole community to pursue in that fashion. see where it goes. Maybe it goes no place, but until you sit down and talk about it, you never know.
It has been suggested at our council meeting that we make a formal request of the city to attempt to establish a joint planning commission that would allow the best use of not just what is here or there, but what is the best use of what we have available to us in all aspects. With that and other things, I mean, nothing has been formalized as of yet, so I may be a little bit ahead of you by suggesting such, but it has been suggested. We've had some good conversation about it, but and I believe that the council is pretty much in majority support of that. It's just sometimes we don't necessarily know if our offer of something is going to be received well or turn to a deaf ear. But you can give that consideration, and we will make a formal request if we think that's a possibility.
I think it's an intriguing idea because with the TMI initiative a couple of years ago, and the history in the valley, you know, I really think that the city of Peterson should be included with that, and with that a joint planning effort that would encompass the entire valley.
We had some of that discussion or dialogue here a few years ago, and that with a few other things kind of died on the vine. But yes, it would be a very positive thing to go back to the communities as a whole, not as a single, and what can we do for each other. You know, wastewater treatment plant has been a discussion for how long. Some of these other things have been, you know, but we're open to that.
Anything else?
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.